Hey, hey, Sagittarius. Happy Saturday, May 1st. Let's hope for some good energy for Saggies. Saggies, thanks so much for all your comments and your likes and your subscriptions. I truly appreciate it. And it really allows me to be picking up on a lot of different Sagittarian energy. Everybody has stories. Some are very similar. Others are different, and it's nice to pick up on those energies. It gives a variety of different energies in the reads, and I do appreciate it. What's going on here? Well, there you are, High Priestess of Fire. What's going on? You know, it's funny, there's a crow in this card, and I've just been hearing ravens or crows outside my house. Now, around here where I live, I mean, it's not really unusual, but I knew that was significant. This is rigidity. This is feeling rigid, somehow, maybe nervousness. Oh, High Priestess of Water is here. You might be in your emotions, or feeling like you're going between passion, fire and water making steam, fire, passion, earth or water feeling emotional. Wow, yeah, and you might be feeling nervous for some reason about love. And chaos. Now there's a tornado in that. Chaotic love has made you feel maybe rigid, nervous, like this raven in the card is sitting on this rock wall. Which way do I want to go? Do I want to fulfill my passions, or do I want to stay in my emotions concerning something to do with love? And it's like a chaotic situation that you may have gone through. What's going on here? That's a new beginning, by the way. Listening. Not everything that is light, and not everything that is dark. And listening to your intuition, knowing the difference between, oh my goodness, passions and emotions. Interesting. So that's the rigidity that I'm picking up on. And you might be feeling like a storm brewing, or that you're battling somehow between your passions and your emotions. There is a difference between the two for sure. Let's just see where this is going, because I'm led in several directions right now. What are these messages? Clarify this reading for Saggies. It's about learning how to trust your emotions versus your passions to do with love. And like in a storm, sometimes you can see a storm coming by observing the sky and the darkness, and sometimes you can't see it coming. Like you can have like a beautiful calm day, and then out of the blue there comes something that just, it's a storm brewing to do with love, or calm before the storm, or calm after the storm, but the storm is already past, I believe. Clarify this reading for beautiful Saggies. Many Saggies have been listening to their emotional side, like people playing on your emotions. Now I have to say this, like there is a difference between forgiveness and enabling. We have to recognize the difference between the two. And a pretty good judge of that, Sagittarius, is like people say, just forgive. Uh, like when a person's partner chooses another mate and follows their passions and leaving the other person in their emotions, we're to be cautious about this because things may not appear as they appear. Forgiveness is key for self-development and for forward growth, but it's also being cautious not to let people take advantage of your emotions. Forgiveness is foremost for our own healing, but be careful at the same time not to fall into enabling behaviors. We teach people how to treat us. And if we keep accepting people back into our lives, even though we're emotional and we have passion for these people, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're healthy for us. Like, if we accept people's behaviors, how they treat us because of our love for them, we're not doing them any favors. It's like if someone is a repeat offender, like a repeat cheater, or take that for an example. And I'm definitely not saying that all Sagittarians are going through this, but some are. And we keep taking this person back. They're like a repeat offender. And we're actually doing them a disservice when we allow that person back into our lives before they have learned their lessons. If we take them back before they've done the work, we actually are teaching them, enabling them to say that it's okay to treat us that way. And that's a strong message I'm getting today. I can forgive somebody, but I'm not taking them back into my life till I would see that they had changed. And even then I might hesitate. I can love you from a distance. And that's my own personal view on it. It's take it or leave it, but that's my personal view, because when we accept negative behaviors of individuals, I don't care what that addiction is, they may suffer from addictions, and lust is one of those, sex addictions, whether it be drugs, alcohol, you name it. If it's created a problem and someone has taken advantage of our emotions, and we allow those behaviors, we're actually doing them a disservice. I know people that have people in their lives that are repeat cheaters, and each time they haven't changed, and you let that person back, you're actually enabling them to get away with that behavior, and you're doing them a disservice. Yeah. Like people who want to just situations where they're giving to two. Something's coming to my mind right now. It may have just slipped it, but it'll come to me. Stand in your confidence and be secure in your own intuitions about people like this. If they're only giving you half of themselves or a quarter of themselves, or they keep feeding other situations, whether that be sex, love, emotions, you're robbing yourself of your self-worth by allowing that. And it's teaching that person that that action that they're doing is okay, and it's not okay. It's cut these individuals off who are doing that, and that is to make them come correct, not to just like you know, Sagittarians are not hateful people. They might get angry, they're very blunt, but they always have a higher purpose. Sagittarians are natural teachers. They're natural nurturers by true nature, if they're in their true nature. And yeah, some may have to make a decision of whether to accept apologies or whatever. It's fine to accept apologies, but has that person learned their lesson? Or do you need to close out that cycle with that individual? Self-love first. Love of self, and that is self-worth, self-value. If somebody is doing something that's affecting your emotions, and you know it's not for your higher good, and you accept that into your life, you're actually enabling, teaching that person that what they did was all right. I love deeply. I love my kids. I love the people that I have had the opportunity to know in my life. And you know what? I've been able to rescue myself from that mindset that it's my job somehow to love that person because they're in my life. No, I'm going to love myself enough to not allow people to destroy my self-worth. People that want to act on their passions and then be sorry for it afterwards. You know what? I forgive you. But don't think that you can come around and do it again to me. You know it's not going to happen. I love myself enough to not let you do that. And I love you enough to not let you do that to me. I'll be the one that says, no way. No, you will not treat me that way. And I will block you. Children, family, loved ones, I don't care. Don't live in a fantasy of illusion. If people are going in your life and they are players, it doesn't mean you hate them. You might go through your anger and you might go through the emotions of what they did, but also loving yourself enough to say, you know what, I'm worth more than that. I love myself more than to allow you to do that. Yeah, this is the lesson we need to learn. About people that manipulate and leave you out in the cold after they've gotten what they want, or you know, people that somehow do that to us usually are suffering from abandonment issues, or you know, they don't see that one love is enough, that they have to go out to fill some type of void in their life, and they bring about this abandonment issue, like, you're just gonna leave me out in the cold when I love you? That's manipulation. That is not true love. That is teaching that manipulation is okay to trigger those emotions of abandonment in us. It's not okay. I don't care if that's your children. I don't care if that's loved ones, family, friends, whoever it is. You know, I felt guilty. My youngest son went through a spell of where he was walking down the wrong road and being tempted by the party life and the party scene, and I knew that it was hurting him. And as much as I wanted to help that individual because I loved them, I actually helped him by closing my door, closing off my emotions, closing off, shutting the door, and saying, look, I love you enough to not let you come in this way. I have these standards, and you're not crossing my boundaries. If you want to go live that life, you go and live that life. But don't come back to me playing on my emotions when times are tough, and I'm not going to let you come in and go. Come in and go. Because if I did, I actually would have put his life in danger. And I love that as much as it hurt me to do that, to close off someone I loved, it saved their life. That's why we're not to accept those behaviors. It isn't because we can't forgive, it's because we have to make a judgment call. We can accept third parties and forgive. But to turn your back on people that are treating you that way, you don't have to accept it. We can forgive, but I'm not condoning it. I'm not letting you back in my life. And yeah, I'll stop you dead in your tracks. You're not coming in. I'll cut it off. I'll end it. Why? Not because I don't love that person, not because it's not painful, not because I can't forgive, but because probably their whole life they've been allowed to get away with it. And it's learned behavior. And they go, oh, so-and-so will take me back, they'll forgive me. And then it becomes a cycle, a vicious cycle we get in. Instead of breaking the cycle, we enable that person to come back in when they have not done the work. So I focus, personally, I focus on my own growth, my own development. And I will pray for that person. I will hope the best for that person. I do forgive those people, but I will cut them off if they're crossing the line, if they're crossing the boundaries that affect my growth, my self-love, my self-worth. The tower will hit. And the universe brings in these towers so that we learn these lessons. They're a burden, and it's not our burden to carry. Our burden is our burden. It's not my job to accept things that are unhealthy for me in my life. It's not my job, it's the universe's job. But it is my job to protect me. It is my job to not enable. It is my job, my duty, my responsibility to myself. As well as if there's any chance of people changing their behaviors, that is how to do it. I'm not going to teach, whether that be my son, my family, my friends, my lovers, that it's okay to treat me this way. It's not okay. It's not okay to treat yourself that way, let alone another individual. Honor yourself. And if we accept these individuals, they learn that those behaviors are acceptable. They're not acceptable. I want the best for you. You can't feel very good about yourself if you're going out doing these things like unhealthy acts. Like, it actually lowers their self-esteem and their self-worth. So if I want to help that person truly, I will cut them off because I love them. Yes, that's what soulmates do. People that are tight, people that are here to assist other people, you'll cut that person off because you love them. Follow your intuition, because it's like teaching a child how to walk. It's like a true friend that you think of. You might have good memories of this person when a time was good and you remember them in that good light. But if something happened along the way that they changed and they go out and do something that is hurtful to you, they also hurt themselves. It's a mirroring effect. So if I want to be honored and I want to be respected and I want to be loved, I have to love myself enough to say, look, I love you. I do forgive you. But I'm not taking you into my life when you're acting that way. I'll pray for you. I will forgive you, but I'm not letting you into my life. I will block you. You will not get past my door. Because you're hurting yourself and you're hurting others. You make false promises, and I will protect myself because I want happiness, joy, and peace in my life, and I want that for your life. I control my own ship, my own destiny, my own actions. I cannot control the actions of others, nor am I responsible for their actions. That's like taking control. Yeah, I'm staying balanced. If you choose to be unbalanced, I'm sorry. I wish I could help you. If you ever need somebody to talk to, I'm there, but it's not going to affect my energy. It's not going to affect my balance in my life. I'm not staying stuck in that cycle of worry, wonder, what are they up to? What are they doing? Sleepless nights. I'm telling you, no. I'll pray for you. And the angels are there. But I won't speak to you. I will not acknowledge you when you're in this energy. The Seven of Swords. I will reject you for the behavior you're doing, not the individual. Because I stand in my power. I know what's best for me. I take action to have growth, development, self-worth, nurturing. I want growth and happiness. So I listen to my intuitions, you know, and I know my self-worth. And I stand in the power of control over my own destiny, my own life. And I really hope that these messages, yeah, because I want long-term success, long-term commitments, people that are committed to being happy, to knowing their self-worth, to not take my money and run, to not take my emotions and run, I'm passionate about my future growth. I'm passionate about people who want to take from me. No. Spirit did not ask us to be enablers. Spirit did not ask us to accept people in our lives because we have emotions for them and because we deeply love. I love people enough to make them the best people that they can be. And that is by honoring myself. And I don't want people who are making false promises to me, counting on the fact that I'm going to take them back because I love them. I know I love them. No, I don't think there's a greater love than what a parent has for a child. And nobody wants to see their children out in the cold. But I love my children enough that I'll let them learn. I will let them get hurt so that they do learn. And yes, I forgive them. But each person has their own journey to take. And those are what I'm picking up on. If you stand a chance of all what I've learned, and this is just from my own experience, not like I'm a guru at anything, but I can tell you right now from my own personal experiences, the more you allow that behavior, the more disservice that you do and serve to that person. I've lost, guys, so many people due to, and these are people I truly cared about, friends, family members, other people. The more you enable them, the worse they get, and the harder it is to reach them, to give them help. So, yep, no, I'm sorry, not today. It will not happen this day, next day, or someday down the road. It'll happen when I see you're serious, committed to honoring yourself. Because if you're not honoring yourself, you're certainly not going to honor me. Yeah. As a reminder is here. Do not forget the acts of these people. It doesn't mean you hate them. I'm not here on a hate bashing thing. It's a reminder to honor yourself so that this person can learn by you and say, you know what? I'm really doing myself a disservice when I'm acting this way or when I'm doing these behaviors. I'll still love you. I'll welcome you back in open arms when you have learnt your lessons. Don't live in denial. You have to, in order to change something, you have to accept it as it is. Yeah, because these people, they're feeling invisible, like they feel invisible to the world. And a lot of these people do it for attention, for loneliness, because they want to be recognized or accepted. They have issues, guys. And I want the best for those people. They fall into these addictions, whether it's money, lust, sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever the issue is. Codependency is number one on my list. And they get reliant upon people's emotions and let me back in. And it's because they feel invisible. They seek attentions. But by accepting, don't live in denial. You have to know what they're all about. They're deceiving themselves. And yeah, in order for hope to be present, you have to take the blinders off and see things as they are. If you have a repeat cheater, guys, you need to accept that that's the way they are, and they've got wounds to heal. And usually people do that because they're feeling invisible and they seek attention, affection from others. I don't care if it's for sex or love or whatever it is. I'm not allowing it in my life. Sorry, guys. I'm not staying trapped in that cycle. Trapped being here. It is a vicious cycle. End of it. We want our next generation of human beings to have ascended beyond what we know. And that's one sure way of doing that, guys. Thanks for listening.